Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. This week we're back in New York, the Daleks have a plan, and this is their evolution. Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary and other, however you wish to identify. I got so panicked then about being cancelled. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Lawrence on this silly little show where we talk about Doctor Who. Hello.
That had the cadence of you were going to say something else.
Felt like I was going to segue into Lionel Richie's "Is It Me You're Looking For?"
Oh, is that where you were going to go with that?
I wasn't, but maybe.
There's still time.
No.
Moment's gone. Did you ask me how I was?
Yes, probably.
I think you probably just said hello, but I'm going to answer.
Just imagine that I did, okay?
Okay. I'm very well, Nathan. How are you today?
I am wonderful, Lawrence. I'm very excited to discuss this episode of Dr Who, which was, of course, written by Helen Rayner, directed by someone. Just give me a minute.
I was like, normally you go blank here because they've come out recently as transphobic or racist or something. So,
James Strong was the director.
and is he transphobic or racist?
I don't know enough about him, Lawrence. I'd like to say no, but unfortunately, as he is British, it is very possible. So
you just don't know with these
British
writers.
You don't know. It could happen. But yes, the same writing, directing duo from last week obviously is a two-part storyline, and we are picking up pretty much straight away where we left off. No cold open, just straight up clips from last week, and then in we go to the titles.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like this... say what you want about this episode, I think it wastes absolutely no fucking time from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like it's very podcast. Quickly... Yeah, I mean... Oh, yeah, we have got into it pretty quick this week, haven't we?
There you go. New podcast.
Let's slow it all the way down, Nathan. How has your week been?
No.
The Doctor straight away is like, I'm here, this is a radio. And I found it a funny thing because like last week or in the last episode, for him, mere moments ago, he was like, I hardly want to be noticed, do I? And then the first thing he does in this episode is like, hello, it's me and I'm here and I'm playing some music.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. It's a bit of a switch up, but to be fair, there is like a big fucking elephant in the room in the form of Dalek Sec is now a walking, talking man. I do need to correct myself from last week, although I feel like this is more the show's fault than mine.
Okay.
But last week I made...
So hang on, that's a bold way to come out. But go on.
but you'll see. Last week I made well, not really a criticism, more of just a note, a note really, that Mr. Diagoras, before he got cooked, he very noticeably took a second to put on his gloves. So like I was like, oh, they don't need to show his Dalek hands then because he's got his gloves on. But then in this episode, he's like, look at my big Dalek hands the entire way through. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, to be fair, you were immediately contradicted there.
I was. But again, they did make a big show of him putting gloves on.
They did.
In the last episode, though.
They did. I feel like maybe they set it up for this scenario. They set it up to be like, oh, look at our quaint little budget. We can't do this. And then they were like, now it's the showstopper. Bring out his Dalek hands. Show the fans what this episode is made of.
The fans want to see the hands. Hands are sexy. Did you know this?
Oh, what?
Did you know that hands are sexy?
Hands are sexy?
Hands are incredibly sexy.
This is incredible news to me, and now I'm extremely more aware of my hands than I've ever been before.
There's a very big thing, particularly with people who are attracted to men. Not limiting that to any specific gender, but
stop panicking, Nathan. You're fine.
There is just a thing about hands and the attractiveness of hands. So there you go.
Are mine attractive?
No.
I'll hold them up.
Show me their hands.
I'll hold them up right now.
No, you're just showing off your wedding ring, so immediately you lose points for that.
Yeah, because I'm taking myself off the board, Nathan. If I'm out here flaunting my hands like a common, I don't know. I don't even want to go into this.
Like a common whore.
No, I didn't say that.
Flaunting your hand, he belongs to the streets. Lawrence out here showing off his hands to everyone.
I'm just taking myself off the board. That's all I'm doing.
I should hope so. You're married.
Yeah, but I can't be out here showing hands like this on webcams, Nathan. I'll get a reputation.
No one sees this. This is just for us.
I know, and I feel dirty knowing you've seen it.
Great.
Well, hang on. Well, how did we get here? Hands are sexy. Dalek sex hands.
Dalek sex hands. Not that sexy, I feel like, but you never know.
Dalek sex hands.
Great. Okay.
There's a joke there. You know it.
I feel like you're building off the Sex and the City joke from last week, which was infinitely better.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong, to be honest.
Yeah. So
I forgot about that, and now that's tickled me all over again.
There you go. I'll tell you what I do enjoy about Dalek Sec, and this is just the look of him, really. I enjoy and I didn't really notice this, but Mr. Diagoras was wearing an all-black suit, so we can kind of, like, visually match up to the image of Dalek Sec, really, with his all-black casing. It looks quite good, I think.
Imagine if that was like for another Dalek that wasn't Dalek Sec, and this man was just wearing a bright gold suit.
Yeah.
Like C-3PO vibe suit colours.
They're not really gold, though, are they? They're more bronze.
They are, yeah. Yeah, it's true. No, you're right. I think
time for a redesign.
Yeah. I would argue most of the times they've done it, it's turned out worse, and they've gone back.
I cannot wait till we get to Series 5, mate.
What, your defense is the Power Rangers?
Yeah, mate, I got some words and I cannot wait.
Nathan loves compost bins.
Criminally underrated design.
I know, I think they're appropriately poorly rated.
Nope.
But anyway, we're talking about this design, and as a design, I've got notes on it later on, because we
the Daleks?
No, the Dalek Sec human hybrid.
That segue was confusing.
I feel like it was there for those. I
feel like it was confusing.
I feel like the listeners who probably pay more attention to me on this show than you do as the co-host would disagree.
But we were talking very clearly about Dalek designs, and then you said, "Well, we're speaking about this design," and then you didn't elaborate.
I can see where you're coming from. It's a good Dalek Sec half human, half Dalek design.
Lawrence, it sounds like you love face phalluses, if you ask me.
I mean, maybe I do. Listen, people are attracted to hands. It's a strange world out there. But also the face phalluses, they look good. They're moving around. I know we touched on this last week, but like his little wide eyes as he's like imagining all of humanity, and
eye.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, his eye. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's only got one, isn't he?
Yeah, like a Dalek.
Hey, I wonder where they got that from.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's a good scene when he's like, he first.
I think about it. I feel like he's kind of made to kind of vaguely, but sort of visually represent a Dalek. He's got the one eye. His brain is sort of like split off into two, kind of like the Dalek ears, lights. Thing.
Oh yeah, you're cooking.
Sort of, yeah. And then also his face dicks, they kind of like spread out a bit, kind of like the skirt of a Dalek does, a little bit maybe.
I would say it's more in line with like the actual Dalek on the inside.
Yeah,
but, like,
yes, of course,
legs.
Lawrence. Yes, but come on.
What do you reckon like the rest of him looks like? Just humanoid?
Just weirdly, like when you see like shots of the back of his head, and it just looks like weird and scaly that, I reckon. Just weird and orange, and I don't know.
Feels
not
like
very nice.
Somewhat rubbery, somewhat wet.
Why is he orange? Because Dalek Sec was like sort of green.
He was a bit gooey and green, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like there's part of the. I mean, Mr. Diagoras was a very tanned New Yorker man, wasn't he? He was very like. He was the most Jersey New Yorker I've ever seen. Put it that way.
Most Jersey New Yorker. What does that mean?
He had a little tan going on. Like,
and somehow if you're from Jersey, you have a tan.
Yeah, they got tans.
In Jersey? Do
Maybe
you mean New Jersey, which is like across the river from New York?
Whatever is the closest to you thinking I'm right is what I mean.
Okay.
If that
I don't
makes
think
sense.
I don't think you know what Jersey.
I'm talking about look. All right, you're gonna think I'm stupid, but I'm actually talking about Jersey Shore, where they all have tans.
Okay. but but none of those tans are real, Lawrence.
Yeah, but maybe if he's embracing the culture.
I
He
feel
doesn't
like
know what racism is yet.
I feel like he's very clearly Italian American, so maybe he's got that Mediterranean complexion.
Oh, the
about
olive
him.
skin.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe.
good on him. He looks great.
Yeah.
He looks better than being green and gooey.
Well, I don't know. I feel like you can make him green and gooey.
Someone out there, make a Photoshop. We'll judge.
Don't do that.
No, true. We probably won't even see it.
Yeah, we don't have the reach for that. Yeah.
I like how he explores his humanity in the scene, and he as a Dalek would do, but he's also not unjustified for doing so. He just goes immediately to basically being like, these people love fucking shooting each other. Like, humans love war, and they're good at it too.
Yeah.
Which is something, I guess, like, from a Dalek's point of view, now that he can see war from, like, our perspective, he's like, oh, they're not so bad at it. We're just elite killing dustbins.
Yeah.
So, like, it's weird. There's, like, finally a level of respect given to humans, but it very much, at this point, still in the vein of, yeah, they're so good because they're well good at killing each other.
It's an interesting conversation about, like, what it means to be Dalek and then what it means to be human, and are the two all that different, really, in the grand scheme of things. It's, for a silly little sci-fi show like Doctor Who, it's pretty interesting stuff. Really.
Yeah. So often Doctor Who does that, where it, like, just breaks off into these philosophical debates.
Yeah.
And then the Doctor's like, you know the best thing about music? Big noise! And then they run away.
And then there's just vague sonic shenanigans, and then the day is saved, or whatever.
They're so quick to, like, break up any... Like, the interesting conversation can last maximum 1 minute before the Doctor's like, timey wibbly wobbly, or something silly.
We've got to get moving. There's stuff to do.
It's true. I like that they're like, Dalek Sex says something along the lines of, like, we escaped your slaughter. I'm like, I think you got that wrong, Dalek Sex. We've seen the show Doctor Who, and I very much so remember the Daleks were the ones initiating any sort of slaughter.
Yeah, but from their point of view, they were all getting sucked into a big fucking void, weren't they?
Yeah, but, like, and this scene and this whole episode is like, you know that Mitchell and Webb sketch where he's like, are we the baddies?
Yeah.
That's what this whole thing is.
It is, actually, yeah.
Just this man being like, oh, hang on. 1 second. But yes, the Sonic, like you said, the Sonic saves the day. What does he do? He, like, plays the radio super loud.
Oh, you just does vague Sonic shit. I don't know. He just aims his Sonic at the radio, and then there's noise which somehow only affects the bad guys for some reason.
Yeah, I got a note that says, like, it only affects... It doesn't do anything to Dalek ears unless you're Dalek Sec. It also affects the pig slave ears, who used to be human and aren't anymore. But it also doesn't affect the other humans, and it doesn't affect the Daleks. So how's it affecting Dalek Sec?
I don't know.
He should have the strengths of both of those races, and he's just like, oh, my ears.
Yeah, literally only affects Sec and the pig slaves, but then everyone else is just fine. So
we can hand wave it. It was definitely the Doctor quickly did a setting on the sonic screwdriver. That was like,
oh, the old Dalek second pig slave setting.
No. He had to program it. That's why he didn't want to be known so quickly, because he was programming it. He was like, right, there's these 2 new species you don't know about. I'm gonna have to make a little code for you guys.
Okay.
Was this setting number like 8 billion, and what number were we up to?
So they're running out through the sewers. They're getting chased by pigs and Daleks. There's some very funny shots of the Daleks where, like, the camera is mounted on the front of them. And so, do you remember those shots in Skins where, like, someone was, like, just tripping out of their mind, and they just have the camera mounted while they're stumbling about? It just reminded me of that.
It's very another Mitchell and Webb. It's very Sir Chicken Digby season.
It is, yes. I love some decomposition Caesar. That's very funny.
They're all running away, and I've just got a note that says Laszlo is left with the pig slaves, just praying that they're all too busy to notice he's got hair. They all run away, and Laszlo is just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
I don't think they're smart enough to realize that he's sort of different.
Yeah, it's true. The Daleks are though.
The Daleks are definitely are, but like, I don't know, they just don't take any notice of him, I guess.
we got bigger shit going on.
Yeah, we do get a fun little scene where the Daleks just like they have a little bitch off together. They just have a little bitching session in the sewers. They're like, what do you think of this guy? Like, and then one of them even does a look around to make sure they're alone. And it's like, well,
I love the commitment to the full eye stalk turn.
Yeah,
the full 180, the full back again.
It was great. It was very funny.
It is very good. I like that they are like, for an episode where they're adamant about not being any degree human.
Yeah,
this is their most relatable and human episode this far.
It really is. Yeah.
Like they're literally employees at the water cooler bitching about the boss.
100%. Yeah,
it's
the
so
boss,
good.
The boss has got some wild new ideas, and the company's going in a strange new direction, and they're like, I'm not sure about this, man. Like, this seems...
Dalek Sec has come in the morning meeting and been like, so minimum wage is kind of a suggestion, right? And they were like, hang on.
Oh, no.
Let's discuss.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so they're spilling tea. The doctor runs back, and they go to... We need to... Like, I know it's probably too late now, but we need to establish where these sewer gates come out.
Well, one of them comes out in the theatre.
Yeah.
One of them
dressing room.
Yeah, into Lula's dressing room. No, it's like in the backstage area for some reason. I don't know why that's better.
Yeah. the lift. There's also a direct lift that goes up to the top of the Empire State Building.
Is not to the sewers.
Yeah, from the sewers. Not from the sewers.
There's the basement of the Empire State, which leads into the sewers.
Oh, okay. It's just that they only shot with like 2 lines of sewers, so it feels like they're right next to it.
Well, that's just classic Doctor Who. You got one hallway. You got to make it work.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. But yeah. So they go back to Hooverville, I believe. Look, there can be a sewer grate in Central Park. Why not?
There probably is.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big place.
Yeah, big park. Solomon is very amped up on his "protect what you love" speech from last week.
Yes.
So, like, his grand plan is to make a stand. And to be fair, a reasonable plan if it were just the pig slaves.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like they could take the pig slaves, really.
Yeah, because
I've seen guns.
Yeah, and I feel like I've seen this complaint about this episode before. It's just like, this is Solomon's dumbest half hour. I'm like, it's not really, is it? Like, it's a desperate man with a gambit and a plan. That's about it.
He makes a good play. It's just that, unfortunately, he's playing to a Dalek, and
the Dalek does not care.
Yeah, like, we know the Dalek doesn't give a shit, but he doesn't. Yeah, it's a shame, really. This whole Hooverville attack sequence, it struck me as just strange to watch, because there's a sequence like where the Daleks show up, and then like the Doctor is just like looking up at them, and he's surrounded by a crowd of people and stuff, and then the Daleks just start attacking and shooting and blowing people up and all this sort of stuff. And for the entire time, the Doctor just stands there and just watches and doesn't even attempt to help anyone. He just literally just stays still the entire time. It's so weird. Like, why?
I think this is one of the rare instances where David Tennant was probably itching to do some 10 magic.
Yeah.
But there's nothing for him to tinker with. And the Daleks obviously aren't there and on set. Like, they're CG.
Yeah.
Apart from the stuff that they filmed against a green screen and then put in for, like, the static flying shots. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is an element of, like, they just shot it and they put it in the edit and they were like, I hope no one notices that our hero of the piece does nothing for this.
Well, I did.
I know you did. But, I mean, is that Nathan Nitpicks a thing, or was it glaring?
Oh, to me, it was glaring.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it was glaring to me in 2007, but it was definitely glaring today.
Fair, yeah.
It was just very noticeable that a lot of people here are seemingly being killed, and and he's just like, oh well, nothing I can do, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, in his defense, like, there's not much he could do, but like, at least run around and be like, stop.
Yeah, at least try something, not just stand by and watch. I don't know. That just doesn't feel very Doctor Who to me, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, we're gonna get further down the line. There are times in the show where the Doctor entices genocide and is like, let's do it.
yeah.
I see where you're coming from. I think for as primitive as the pig slaves supposedly are, they do a good job of tactically herding people into the middle.
Okay. Yeah.
But then I wrote that note, and then I immediately remembered that literal dogs can do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe it's just, yeah. But I don't know.
They got those farmyard instincts.
Yeah. I mean, look, later on we find out apparently they go through some training, so maybe.
Wait, do we?
Oh, do you know what? We'll save that for a certain segment.
Okay. Fair
enough. But yeah, so anyway, Solomon gives his speech. This is the coldest exterminate of the series so far,
it's
right?
brutal, isn't it?
It's
cruel. Just so, like, I didn't care about anything you just said. Fuck you. Bang.
It was like the equivalent of, like, I mean, because the Daleks this is their sassiest episode.
Yeah.
So, like, there's an element of, like, it feels like the Dalek was just, like, looking at his nails, looking at his nail polish, and then being like, oh, were you talking? Oh, exterminate.
Yeah. He was so just, so brutal. There's a moment in a, should I say? I'll say
what could possibly... Oh, you're saving a bit of sizzle.
Yeah, well, it's just a good line, which comes up later in Doctor Who, and I don't want to kind of spoil it for those who maybe not haven't. So I'll just leave it for now. But
okay.
It reminded me of something. That's all.
Okay.
But yeah, I just have a note. They didn't have to do Solomon like that. They must have turned that exterminating setting up to 11, like with him, because like he was really feeling that. He was on his knees screaming and everything, man.
That's something in Doctor Who in general. Like, the extermination always is only as cold as the actor sells it.
Yeah,
because like they do that weird skeleton effect.
Yeah.
But then you always get just that last little moment of them alive to just give their all in that performance.
Well, you see, sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's just quick and instant, and you're instantly dead. But then sometimes you get to act for a little bit and choose some scenery. So
I think it's genuinely whatever the actors do on set. They're like, that's the take.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I was saying it a second ago. Like, this is like, because obviously that scene has the back and forth. Like, Dalek Sec is still commanding them through the eye stalk, and like he's still a presence in that scene.
Yes.
This is as expressive, I think, as the Daleks have ever been. And everything I say, like, it's up until this point in the show.
Yeah.
Because they are like just Dalek Sec being like, don't kill the Doctor, and the Dalek next to him just like just looks at him like, you alright, dude?
Yeah, it just turns to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All okay, boss? How you
Bro,
feeling?
you good?
Yeah. You know that's the Doctor, right? Like, there is just an element of that, like, all of them, the walls closing in around Dalek Sec, and all of them are just like, has this guy gone fucking, like, what were you expecting?
A lot of, I guess we can talk about this a bit more when it comes to the Dalek Sec and their plan thing, but a lot of this does seem quite a lot like, what were you expecting, really? I feel like that can apply to a lot of their plan, really. Oh, I know, let's take a Dalek and splice his DNA with a human. Okay, we did that, and now he's more human. Oh no! The exact thing we didn't want.
How could this have happened? Yeah. It's almost like this is literal maths and we're geniuses.
It's that gunshot meme. What's that meme?
With, the Eric Andre meme.
Yeah, the Eric Andre meme.
A lot of cutaway memes we're talking about today.
It is, yeah. That's true. Right, what happens next? Because I don't have many notes. So what happens after the attack?
So not much apart from the Doctor goes... Basically, it was a weird endeavour for the Doctor. He, I think they did this Hooverville sequence just so the Doctor didn't stay in the tunnels the entire episode.
Oh, yeah, because he was in there to begin with, and then he left for 5 minutes, and then he was straight back in there.
And he was like, take me. Well, first he was like, kill me. And I'm like, you know they could.
Yeah.
Like you'll die, and like you're going to take a Dalek on its word to save the rest of these people. No.
Maybe it's a clever homage to classic Who in the fact that a lot of it was just, oh, we've been kidnapped and now we're prisoners in this place. Oh, but now we've escaped and now we're out. Oh, no, we've been kidnapped again and now we've been taken back. Oh, but now we're free and we're on the run. Oh, I've got to go back.
Oh, God damn it, I'm back here again.
And it's like that for 12 parts.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah, I never, ever. Maybe this is sacrilege, and especially from a man who co-hosts a Doctor Who podcast. I don't ever want to see that shit.
Well, you're gonna, because you are. You're going to, and I feel like you'd be pleasantly surprised with quite a lot of it.
Yeah, but I feel like there's gonna be high highs and fucking hell pit lows.
Not necessarily.
I don't know.
It's the longest running TV show for a reason, Lawrence.
And it was also cancelled for a reason.
Yeah, after like 30 years.
Yeah, but they watched anything back in the day. That they were like, someone would turn a torch on and they'd be like, oh, special effects. Like,
come on now.
Oh, they're old. They're not listening to this. It's fine. But yeah. So yeah, anyway, the Doctor goes back. And here I think is like, this is genuinely probably the most interesting part of the episode, right? Like, especially like thematically from the Doctor's point of view, like, is this the only time he's worked with them? Or at least attempted to work with them to a capacity?
No, it's definitely happened in Classic Who.
Okay. Well, we're not talking about that, because as we just established, like, it doesn't count and it's dumb.
In terms of New Who and the kind of, like, new sort of timeline and canon that we find ourselves in, like, you know, the time post-Time War, yes, it is.
Telling the Dalek to kill himself doesn't count.
Yeah, no.
If that's what you're about to say, that doesn't count.
Well, okay, there we go.
I understand how you're saying it, but like, no. That's the Doctor's best day at work. That was if the Dalek's like, I want to die, and he's like, jackpot. Like, fuck yeah.
I'm clocking off early.
Yeah, so I'm back in time for lunch, I reckon. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so basically their whole thing is like, their whole plan is transmit Dalek sex genetics into the human shells, creating a new human Dalek race that the Doctor would then like load them into like fucking Noah's Ark and take them off to a new planet where they can have a new life.
But these see, this is the thing. I still don't necessarily understand the Daleks' plan, because like these human Daleks, they're not like human Daleks like Sek is. They're just like humans, but like with their thoughts and emotions removed, and they just think they're a Dalek. Yeah.
I'm not saying it makes sense. Okay. I'm just giving you a handy recap. I think he's like grounds. I think he was like supposed to be Mark 1, and
yes,
very quickly. I think he was supposed to be that. I think he was supposed to be a Dalek with a human body, and then quickly they bit off more than they could chew.
Yes,
with him, and he was like, maybe I'm a bit too human. And that's why the Daleks start spiraling. Because they, like, I mean, we said this earlier, what were you expecting? But it obviously weren't this.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't, and they're geniuses, so there has to be some plot canon reason as to, like, I think Sek went wrong.
It did. Yeah, he did. It definitely did. But it's just their grand plan doesn't, I don't know, doesn't seem that well thought out, really.
Just a bunch of us going up in space and singing Kumbaya or whatever.
Well, I don't. That's not their plan, though, is it? Their plan is initially, anyway, like, oh, we can take over the world with our new army of Daleks or whatever. Yeah,
but there has to have been a breakaway point. Like, I think they only made that breakneck plan once Sek was too human and like working with the Doctor. I think
I think that was Sek's plan. That was never the Kotaskaro's plan.
Oh, do you think? Do you think it was the betrayal from Day Dot?
Yeah, I think, because there's a big scene, isn't it, where like when they're in the vague science lab and doing vague science and they're talking, and then Sek's like talking to the Doctor and telling him about like how Daleks are not supreme and stuff, and even the Daleks then they have a moment of, oh, I don't know about that one, Chief. Like we're pretty good.
And we're actually pretty sick, you know.
He's like, and then he's like, our purpose is to survive. And then there's the Dalek sec line, which I always remember. It's always stuck in my head. And when he just goes, then our purpose is wrong.
Yeah.
Because he just says it like a Dalek still, and it's very good. I enjoy it very much.
Genuinely, like, I know, like, Tallulah stole the show last week, but this week it's the guy who plays Diagoras and the human Dalek, right? Like,
Does he play the Dalek?
I think
Does
he does.
Play Sec? Interesting.
I think he does. It's his voice. It's definitely his voice, and it would be too weird for them to not use him, I think. I don't know. You got me doubting it now, but there's a lot of makeup on him.
Yeah, that's true.
So it probably just feels unfamiliar. Yeah, the doctor says, how are you going to do all that? This planet hasn't even split the atom yet. And I just nodded knowingly, having recently watched Oppenheimer. I'm like, I know this.
I know Cillian Murphy is working on it.
I am science. I know.
Great.
But yeah, so their plan, they've got a load of human shells, the doctor calls them, just hovering. I guess the pig slaves have got scaffolding.
Well, they're on the Empire State Building.
Yeah. I need to get this layout sorted, right? Like,
okay.
I know we said there's the tunnels and everything, but like, they're in the sewer, and at no point do we see these tunnels go down. And the only way we see them come in and out of the sewer is like a ladder that's maximum 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yet they have all this headspace.
But this is not the sewers though. This is the Empire. Their lab. It's at the bottom of the Empire State Building. It's not the sewers.
Yeah, but the sewers, as established, we're 10 feet under, right? The ladder is 10 feet tall, right?
Yeah, but what you're doing is you're confusing the depth of the basement to be the same as the depth of the sewers. Well, that's not the case.
No, but I know we get to the sewers and that's different.
Yeah,
the sewers and the basement are different places. I get that, but we never see them go downhill in the sewers. And
why would they need to go downhill?
Because the Empire State Building is like it starts at the ground floor. Like you can walk into the Empire State Building from the street.
Yeah.
So
again, why would you need to go?
I feel like I can't explain this accurately until I have a diagram.
All right. Okay, so picture this. Okay, here, this is not going to work for the listeners.
Yeah,
but
this is for me.
This is just for Lawrence. Okay, here is my hand here. This line is the basement level of the Empire State Building. Okay, which goes along and meets the ground level of the sewers. Okay, yes. And then on top of that, you'll have the entrance to the Empire State Building here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go into the Empire State Building, you'll go down, and then you can get to the basement level. I don't think I'd have to explain how a basement works to you, but here we are.
I'll be honest. I fully didn't consider the basement part of a basement and where the basement is typically situated.
Are you caught up now?
Yeah. Are you still here, listeners? Are you here for this?
I don't think so.
I hope so. All right, fine. My concerns have been met. But yeah, this is the first time a Dalek has actually, like, I know Dalek Sec was literally cooking last episode and start of this one.
Yeah.
But not metaphorically, but like morally and ethically, he's also cooking now. Okay. Like, he says the quest for supremacy is wrong, and like doubling down on it would justify their extinction. He's like, there's 4 of us, dudes. Like,
yeah,
maybe at some point, like, it again, I said it earlier, like, it's are we the baddies? It's like, we are doing something wrong. we must be.
Yeah,
because we keep dying, basically.
He's right. He's got a point.
He is right. Yeah.
Yeah. What happens? So Martha, Frank, and Tallulah, a wonderful trio, go to the Empire State Building.
Yeah, and then Frank breaks off so that Martha and Tallulah can talk about the Doctor for a minute.
Yes,
I've got a note that says this could be so much more interesting than it is. Tallulah and Martha are like less so Frank, but like Tallulah and Martha are really good characters.
Yeah,
they can talk about anything, but instead it's like, my man's a pig, and it's like, well, mine doesn't even know I exist. Whimsical stare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. A misstep, I think.
I think so too. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I do like the moment though when Tallulah like steps out like onto the scaffolding and it's like she has that line, New York City, if aliens had to come to Earth, no wonder they came here. Which is a little bit cheesy, but it makes sense. New York is a very beautiful, magical place though.
It is. And there is like this is the cheesiest era of it, and like
Yeah.
it's also like 1930. Like Tallulah's entire personality is a stereo. It's a good stereotype and a fun one.
Yeah.
But it is a stereotype as well. Like the whole, like, hey, what's going on over there? Oh, hey, darling. Like, I don't know. It's all like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I understand why most of her dialogue is like this cliche silliness.
She is very stereotypical New York girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a showgirl of the era kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a nice line. And also like a complete juxtaposition to like Tallulah's like, ain't it beautiful? And Diagoras and the Dalek in the last episode were like, look at all these guys, Lou, we'd love to kill them. love to do some killing.
It's true, yeah. They looked out on New York and saw like something to be conquered and saw something to be owned and taken for them, and she looks out on it and she just sees something beautiful, just something to be admired and enjoyed, and that's something. That's that's not nothing. There is something about New York though. You've been to New York, and I remember when I went to New York for the first time, and because I was traveling there by bus. I traveled from Boston to New York by bus, and there was just a moment where the coach just like pulled around the corner, and I could just see the island of Manhattan. I just saw those fucking towers, and I was like
a young boy in a musical.
I was like, holy shit! Like, I don't know. There's something about it, like. Because you've seen like pictures of New York and stuff, you've seen it all before. You've seen like literally every movie ever made, but there's just something about seeing it for the first time in real life, and it's just like, oh, it really is fucking big, isn't it? Like, holy shit, man, this is intense.
One of the few times I've genuinely been speechless. I came out of the subway station to Times Square, and I just looked up and I was like, fuck. Like, I thought London had skyscrapers. Like, no. They do, but
London,
like, not like that.
London is wide, but New York is tall.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Also, we're both practical men. We've spoken leaps and, like, we've spoken for, like, too many occasions we've discussed what a dream it would be to be, like, 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, 4. Left, right.
The way New York is laid out is just it's a dream. It's just so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You can't get lost in that city.
It's like, have you ever been to like secondary school and had those maths notebooks, then the cubes instead of lines?
Yeah, the graph paper.
Yeah. It's like someone just drew a square on it and then separated it evenly and went city.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, thank you. And then someone came in later and added a bottom bit and went, that's where the Daleks will build their thing. And I got confused at that part.
And there's a big rectangle in the middle, and we're going to build a fake park in here.
yeah. We will construct a park to beat all other parks.
You see this natural grass and land that we bulldozed over? Well, we're going to build a park here.
We had to clear out the park to make a park.
Yeah.
If you're from America, like, sorry for all the bashing of your country, but like, you get it.
I was looking at some of the statistics for our podcasts earlier this week, and we do have quite a few American listeners.
They didn't know Doctor Who existed until season 6, I thought.
No, some of them did.
Oh, okay.
Season 6 is where it like really took off, but some of them did.
They had that annoying like BBC America intro thing.
Can you imagine watching Doctor Who with ad breaks?
Oh God!
Yeah, I know.
that would be terrible. Where would they go?
I don't know. They just have to. I don't think the Americans really care about that. They're just like,
they exterminate Solomon. They're just like, I don't know. Next up on The Price is Right or whatever goes on over there.
Get yourself down to Wendy's for the new double quarter pounder.
I feel like I don't know why, but every time I think of like an American advert, I think of those fake ones in GTA where it's like, my wife fucked a cow and I don't have enough guns to deal with this or something.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, Dalek Sec is cooking, and yeah, the Daleks are not having any of that. But maybe the biggest plot twist is like it. I think it makes sense for the Doctor in this era of being the Doctor. and
Yeah.
where we're at with the revival series, for him to say, like, I want to help, it makes sense, because we saw him, like, he's deflected for long enough. He then, recently at the end of Gridlock, he opened up about his pain to Martha, which was, like, I know he told Rose, but, like, he knew Rose a lot longer before he started telling her stuff like this. So I think it's a significant growth moment for him, and I think at this point he's like, the way to move forward now is to try and heal the wound. Like, as far as he knows, these are the only 4 Daleks left in existence. Yeah. It's like, if I handle this right, then, like, it's not about winning the Time War, it's about ending it now. And, like, us as species can go our separate ways, and, like, we found a compromise. We did something that, like, both, like, 2 entire planets and, like, an entire galaxy never presumed could be possible. So I get it. I don't know if I'd have trusted it as easy as he does.
No, yeah, he does seem very quick and eager to help them, which can seem a little strange, I guess. You're right though. If you think about it with all that context and stuff, it can make more sense. It still does seem a bit quick. They are talking about, like, Daleks being the new supreme leaders of the universe, and it's like, oh yeah, I can find you a new planet. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know.
It's very funny that it comes after the Daleks being like, look at our human collection.
Yeah,
we killed all these people.
Yeah, there wasn't really reaction to that, was there? It was just, oh, these people are empty. Okay, well, yeah, we can fill them, I guess. Yeah, there was no, like, this is wrong. But, like, I mean, he's talking to a Dalek. Like, what the fuck does he expect, really, though?
Yeah, and what's he gonna do now?
Yeah,
like, they are dead.
Yeah, but I don't know. Still, though, it's some odd moments, I think. I have a note here. I don't know necessarily where this fits in, but there's a moment where Laszlo just says, "Here's the lift," as him and the Doctor go to the lift. Americans don't say lift; they say elevator.
Oh yeah.
Just one of those moments where you could just tell this was written by a British person.
Funnily enough, I picked up on not that exact moment, but I picked up on, like, I just had a giggle to myself when the Daleks go like, the pig slaves will take the lift, and I'm like, a Dalek knows what a lift is. Just very silly.
Yeah, that is very silly. I'm surprised we didn't get any lift shots.mp4.
No lift.mp4.
Yeah,
do you know, I looked out for any, if there was going to be any reusing of, because the Doctor has to climb up the bit. We're jumping, but we'll come back later. The Doctor has to climb up the last little bit of the Empire State Building, and I was wondering if there were going to be any, like, a bit of dodgy rotoscoping of the time the Doctor climbed up a tower in season 2.
Oh, no.
There wasn't, and I think there would have been had he not been wearing a different suit.
Well, one was also daytime. This was
no, that's nothing, is it? Like, turn it down. Literally turn make the camera quality on in those days. You just darken that shot. That's fine.
Yeah, we did. You say though he's wearing a different suit. We recently discovered a piece of promo art for Series 3 where they, for some reason, there's 2 versions of it. One in his brown suit, one in his blue suit, and they just digitally altered it for some reason. Like, it's literally the same photo of David Tennant, but they've just digitally recolored his suit for some reason.
If anyone thinks we, like, amp up our enjoyment of Doctor Who for this show, we spent probably a good 20 minutes trying to work out which was the original. Like, what suit is on David Tennant's physical body in this photo, and which one was the Photoshop?
On the blue. We settled on the blue, I think.
Yeah, because it'd be too easy to get it back the other way. I think was the reasoning. Yeah. In case anyone wanted to know that, that's for you.
There you go. So obviously the Daleks turn on Dalek-Sec, which was always going to happen. Yeah. Because they're the Daleks. They're like, no, we're not having this, Chief. This doesn't agree with us.
They don't say that, Nathan. Say the line you want to say.
I'm building to it, Lyra. I'm building to the greatest fucking line which has ever been written in Doctor Who history, and still to this day has not been topped.
Yeah.
We alluded to this a little bit ago in, I think it was in the Series 2 finale.
Yeah.
When we was talking about the Daleks and the Cybermen having a bitch off. Nothing compares to the line, You told us to imagine, and we imagined your irrelevance. Oh, it's so good.
Just once, I want to see the Doctor have a reaction to that, like, oh, fuck. I got you there. Like, could someone get a Dalek Sec reaction cam? Like,
if there was ever a shot of Doctor Who which required that, that meme of like everyone in the park going, oh,
all the guys losing their mind.
Yeah.
It's true though. That's fucking. You throw that out at someone in like a freestyle battle, you win. Like
it's game over. There's no coming back from that.
Not as good of a line, but followed immediately after in the next scene is the Doctor running up. They realize. Oh, hang on. I realized I just fucking bulldozed the whole part of the Daleks turning on everyone. We'll come back to it. Tallulah says gammon radiation. What's that? It's not as good, but it's a banger.
It's pretty funny.
In any other episode, it would have stolen the episode.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah,
but they did Tallulah dirty by putting it next to the hardest diss track of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The Dalek betrayal moment in this, right?
It was always coming.
It was coming.
Yeah.
But my God, the execution was so slick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like. This is a show that was like, this is 2007, right? There aren't a lot of moments where they just decide to pick up the camera and do so. And also, they're shooting like 13 of these, right? They're mowing through these fucking episodes.
Down to 8 now. Did you know that?
Yeah. I don't mind that. I think it's going to be different.
Yeah. But
I also am excited for maybe they're going to be slightly longer and slightly higher, more attention paid to each story.
Yeah, I think they might hope. Well, I don't know. I think they'll be about an hour. No, I hope.
Yeah, I'd like to see more like. Right now, like, genuinely, if you told me to wrap up like the most recent series, all of the episodes somewhat blend together. Yeah. Whereas like this era, like, and we'll get to that in like 8 years or whatever. But like in this era, where like this is the Daleks in Manhattan one.
Yeah.
It starts and then it ends and then it's something completely different next week.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get back to that, which I think we will get. But yeah, anyway, the execution of this scene, right? There is the Doctor is. This is a shot that I was just like, oh my God, they're doing it, and it kept going. Right, the Doctor is like typing. The camera pans up, looks at a Dalek. The Doctor looks back down. The Dalek's exterminator arm gun thing has like moved to be pointing at like the Doctor's abdomen, and then like it all like the lighting all just floods red. And all the Daleks are like, this ain't it, Chief, or whatever they say. And, like, it cuts back to the Doctor, and he's like, oh, they're doing something. They're up to something. It's so good. I love this fucking sequence.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is well done. For me, it's just like, oh, come on, man, you didn't see this coming? Like,
Ten's a tragic, like, he doesn't get this stuff, though, does he? Like, he's like, the world is good, hopefully, sometimes.
Yeah, he is, but I feel like, I don't know, it's the Daleks, man. Like, come on, bro.
But you get justification, like he was saying, I think, was it Laszlo said, like, do you trust them? And he was like, I've seen one man change the course of history so many times. Like, and look, give it to him.
Maybe he's filled with hope.
Yeah.
He's naive and hopeful a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I think. And, like, also, give it to him. This is the closest the Daleks have come. Like, their boss has been like, let's change, boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, not enough. It's not enough. It's never enough with these guys.
No, it's true. It's true. But you're right. It is a good switch up and a good betrayal on their part. Just one that was always coming. What we got here? There's something very funny to me about like when the pigs are in the lift going up to like fight Martha and her friends or whatever. There's something very funny about that shot of that one just like looking up at the dial, just like waiting to get to the top floor. I don't know why, but it's just very funny.
It's a weird. Do you know why I think that is? It's because they shot it in a real lift and like they just had no room for the camera.
Yeah,
they were like, we got to get this in somewhere. Yeah, no, I do like that. There's do you know I spoke last week about like how I don't know if the Daleks are back too early. I hadn't seen this second part of the two-parter in a while.
Yeah.
And I think it does redeem it. Like, they managed to do enough interesting stuff with, like, the Daleks maybe being good guys and then being like, oh, no, of course not.
I think so, too. Yeah, the whole conversation about, like, the title suggests, the evolution of the Daleks and what that means. It's very interesting and seeing where that goes and if it even can ever go anywhere, really. It's definitely interesting stuff. I love the design of the guns, the Dalek Tommy guns. Those like 1930s like gangster sort of design. Really,
funnily enough,
interesting.
Never saw this one in Lorimer's, the old toy store, back in the day.
The fuck is Lorimer's?
You don't know Lorimer's?
No, this is some of your fucking upper class upbringing again. This is your. Oh, was it just down the street from Harrods? Was it?
No, it wasn't. I've never been to Harrods.
What's Lorimer's?
Lorimer's was like right. You've been to my hometown. You've been to Orpnam, right?
Yeah.
Orpington. It's not a fucking well-off town. Like, it's fine.
It's doing all right.
It's doing all right. It's not doing amazing.
No.
But like back in the day, Lorimer's was on the high street, and Lorimer's was like I think it wasn't like a village toy store, and it was over the UK.
I've never heard of.
They all shut down, going back at least like probably 15 years ago now. Maybe more. No, maybe just less than that. But anyway, green logo, kind of swirly text, Lorimer's. Anyway, they always had the Doctor Who toys. They had like the Sonics, they had the Jadoon fucking cataloger. I understand why, but never had the Exterminator Tommy gun in the kids' toy stores.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, for Doctor Who toys, if I wanted to go look at Doctor Who toys, I would always have to go look at the section in the Argos catalog.
They were good for it.
They were good, yeah. There was a whole spread. There was a whole big spread.
There was. They had a double page, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. On the rare occasion that I would visit somewhere like Toys R Us, which would be very rare, then I'd occasionally get treated to, again, looking at the toys. I would never get one, but I'd be like...
Go on, Nathan.
And then you do that childhood thing of like, maybe if I look sad next to them, someone will buy me one.
I'm just picturing your dad being like, Nathan, I'm gonna go walk the dog. You go spend some time in there. You go have some leisure time looking at the sonic screwdriver. But yeah, no. Oh, you got one now. You got one now.
It's true, I do.
Go on, give it a buzz. Is it
no,
next
it's not within grabbing distance. It's in my beach bag.
Yeah.
Apparently,
taking it to Greece.
Maybe we'll see. I don't know.
Oh, I'm just picturing you picking up the phone, ordering room service, and like being like, now I don't have to pay for it over the phone.
I don't have to pay anyway. All inclusive, baby. All inclusive.
Then you can pretend. You can like know that you've already paid for it, but zap the phone and be like, no, it's free.
I'm going on holiday soon, everyone. I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's what that was. If you didn't pick up on it. But yes. So anyway, they're all going up in the lift. The pig slaves are going up in the lift. They're following shortly after Martha, Tallulah, and Frank, who are all at the top of the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Martha is very smart.
Yeah, she is.
Because not in a million years would I have thought of this shit.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have either. I'd probably thought, like, well, maybe we can do that, but then I thought, oh no, that was too dangerous and would kill us all. So, like...
Yeah, I'd also think this is probably something I've seen in TV and wouldn't work.
Yeah, probably. But no, she figures it out. She sets it all up. She's got a big, just runway of metal, basically, to just shock all these boys as soon as the doors open.
I was about to say, like, it's a convenient amount of metal pipes, but it is the construction of the biggest building in the world up to this point. Like...
they're surrounded by scaffolding. They can steal a few pipes. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's true.
Yeah. And while that's going on, the Doctor is trying to remove some Dalekanium from the mast of the Empire State Building, which looks very small, by the way. The mast of the Empire State looks quite tiny compared to the building itself, but...
Yeah, but David Tennant's also like 6'4" or something ridiculous.
Yeah, but the mast is like fucking like 30 feet or some shit. It's huge.
They hadn't finished building it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my mistake.
The mast, famously the last thing put on.
My mistake.
But yeah, so I put this down right. The Doctor does get electrocuted. I feel like other Doctors have died for less.
Yeah, definitely. Tom Baker, was he the fourth Doctor? Tom Baker. He just fell off some fucking scaffolding and
Oh yeah, he had this without any of the grandeur and honor of stopping the Daleks.
He fell like 10 feet and then it was like, oh, now I'm regenerating. Pretty sure fucking Colin Baker hit his head on the TARDIS and then regenerated. Like the TARDIS was crashing.
He hit his head on the TARDIS after he got fired by the BBC.
Yeah, yes, that is true, unfortunately. But he just banged his head on the console, and then he's Sylvester McCoy now.
And we famously talk about how like the seventh Doctor as well. Yeah, Sylvester McCoy just walked out the TARDIS and just got fucking sprayed down.
Yeah, it's insane. It's just so weird to see. We should do that at one point, just like maybe a special one-off at some point. But just to see the weird British sci-fi show Doctor Who, to see the TARDIS land in a Chicago alley, and then the Doctor walks out and just immediately gets gunned down by a gang. Very strange.
That's why it took him so long to go to America again.
Yeah, exactly.
They should have started this. They should have started last episode with the Doctor opening the TARDIS and being like, "Oh, is anyone there? Are we good? Are we clear?"
Doctor's got PTSD now from America.
Literally. I don't know if this is like clutching at straws. So let me know. I feel like there is Martha feeling the guilt of like, because the pig slaves were people.
Yes.
And Laszlo has to say like, no, the Daleks killed them. You kind of put them out of their misery more so than anything. But they're like Martha having like using her intelligence to like the burden of being clever and using her intelligence to like take a life when she has to.
Yeah.
Is there a component to that like there's a parallel with the Doctor there? Like, do you reckon that was intentional? Do you reckon that's even something?
I don't know if the show's necessarily trying to say that. I just more took it as like a moment of Martha like reflecting on her morality, really, because like for her that's the first time she's taken a life, and sure they're pig slaves and the humanity of them was already gone. Still a life though, isn't it? It's still
the pig slave looked up at her and went, "How's about that Hippocratic oath?"
Yeah.
You hypocritic oath. That's what I say.
Great.
Yeah. I promise that wasn't a setup for that. I actually thought that might be interesting.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think so. No.
Yeah. I think that it's something for maybe like some fans to enjoy, but I think the show, you're right, it's probably just more so with what you were saying, which is just like someone that dedicated their life to saving people just killed like 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough to take, really. Yeah.
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 The Doctor fucks it up, Nathan.
Great.
He does though. He leaves the Dalekanium on, and like there's that moment. It's very much like the alarm clock went off and he's late to get out of thing because Martha's like, "Hey, you're still alive," and he's like, "I certainly am, Martha."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You didn't do it though, did you?" And he's like, "Oh shit! Oh no!"
Also, you lost your Sonic, you idiot.
Yeah. Oh, I was like. I was going to do my whole joke about like, the Sonic went again. Like, I guess that's a new toll. Like, that Sonic is over. Now we can go back to like the Sonic convenience toll being back to 0. But then Martha brought it back to him, and I was like,
what's the Sonic convenience toll?
Remember the last time the Sonic broke, and I was like, at long last, the Sonic is dead. And then you told me that like in the 50th, they're all the same Sonic or something.
Oh, yes.
Gutted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
Okay.
I was going to do that again. Clearly, it wasn't as running of a joke as I thought it was.
No, it's not a funny joke at all, and it never has been.
Remember it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's move this along. So anyway, so they go to the theater because the shenanigans afoot. Why do they go to the theater?
Because that's where they are. I don't know. I truthfully don't know. I think they just wanted to end it in the auditorium because it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, I guess. They go to the theater. In walk the Dalek human hybrids, whatever, just doing their weird little stompy stomps as they come through. And then the Daleks appear with Sek. And and then
in chains on the ground.
And then
in walk the Daleks, and then in walk the Daleks walking the Daleks.
Lawrence, shut up. Let's move on, Lawrence. Stop bringing this part specifically up, Lawrence. Let's move on. And then what happens? So they say to their humans, "I'll kill the Doctor." Then there's just a very cool moment where he's like, "Yeah, go on, do it, you fucking cowards. Baptize me or whatever." That's good. That's a good moment. I like that.
That is a good moment. I've put down that he basically, the Doctor invented a new form of traversing for me. Right, in 2007, I was in my height of my theatre age.
Yes.
Right, that was like me when I was like in love with like dance and drama and all of that stuff at school.
Yeah.
Right, and when I first saw the 10th Doctor walk across the theatre chairs in a way that no one has ever walked across theatre chairs
across
before.
the back of the chairs, like his feet on the backrests.
Firstly, incredible from Tennant.
What an insane man he is. How's he balancing himself? Like,
I've done it. I did it.
This
This inspired me to do it.
No, but did you just stand there for 10 minutes though as well?
Oh no, I didn't stand.
Yeah, he's just stood in one place. Like, he's delivering.
Did you ever see his feet?
No, he don't, to be fair. But but I don't know.
He's not spread across two because that'd be a weird stance.
I don't think he's spread across two.
Maybe. Right. He walked. They went. That was cool, and then the production team got a stool in for him to stand behind. Right?
Maybe, but
it's probably what happened.
Maybe, but still, I don't know.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, it definitely inspired like a new mode of transport for me. Every time I went to a theatre, I was like, I'm gonna be the coolest fucking kid here.
I bet the people who owned the theatre absolutely loved that. Just...
Oh yeah, more than like, yeah, I got told by quite a few different theatres, like, get off.
Yeah.
Stop it.
As you should. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was wrong to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's this base. Right, I made this note, right, because I think it's something. I think there's something to talk about here, even if it's brief.
Okay.
Right. The Daleks' goal, as they're giving out like the exterminator Tommy guns to the New Yorkers who are now half Dalek, half human.
Yeah.
And a little bit Time Lord, but they don't know it yet.
Yeah.
The Daleks' goal is now to convert the people of Earth into emotionless, monotone killing machines. And it was not but half a season ago that they were rinsing out the Cybermen for doing the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're converting humans to be emotionless killing machines.
Look, I don't think you're going to win any sort of moral high ground with the Daleks, Lawrence. They're never going to be like, oh, no, you're right. They're just like, they're hypocrites, I think.
I think they are. I think their plan has been like messed up so bad at this point that they're just like, what have we got left? Some guns and some people. Let's go and shoot the Earth or something. Like, let's just make do with what we've got at this point.
Yeah, yeah. They're not breaking any new ground here at all. They're not necessarily following like what the Cult of Skaro was created for. They're not, imagining new ways and stuff or anything like that. They're kind of just defaulting back to generic Dalek settings, really.
Yeah, basically.
Just kill.
Yeah, and like that's something that I wrote down. Like most of this episode is the Daleks unknowingly self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
Which is basically like they had a genuine way out, like a way to start fresh and not have to like gather in sewers and like make their own little slaves and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and the only one of them with visionary and free thought that like had an introspective moment in the last like century. They went, oh, he's weird, kill him, shoot him,
chained him up and fucking killed him. Oh yeah, they killed Dalek Sec.
Yeah, and then they created more, gave them guns, and pissed them off to the point where they went, no more of this.
Yeah,
and then they died by their hands.
But they have Time Lords dealing, which they don't necessarily know about. They got a bit of Time Lord fuckery about them.
That was very like washed over. Like I feel like that didn't need the half human could have been enough for them to do that.
Yeah, probably. But
the Doctor was like, just that little bit of Time Lord. I'm like, what did that do?
But also, I feel like the Daleks made sure that there wasn't any human left in them as well, because like that was what Sek was doing, wasn't it? He was like trying to make them more human, and then the Daleks.
Oh, they switched up the goo.
Yeah, they switched it up, and they're like, no, they're gonna be pure Dalek. Fuck you, or whatever.
Yeah, so they wrote themselves into a corner. It could only have been a bit of Time Lord.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they all kill each other or whatever. Dalek, Faye and Dalek Just are killed in the crossfire, and then all the human Dalek hybrids, whatever, they are all wiped out. And then there's just this very I don't know, just quite a cool moment where Martha's like, there's still one Dalek out there, and it's like, yeah, one Dalek left, and then it just immediately cuts to the fucking basement, and you got Dalek Khan and the Doctor just staring at each other, and it's a cool cut, man.
Yeah, no, it's the fact that it's like a Western cut as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the clean, like
the sound effects, the thud with it, and then you got them standing on the opposite ends of the room, literally like fucking Sheriff and the Cowboy about to duel or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I think like this as well, like it would be so easy for the Doctor to like go back into Ten's old ways, but I think like Ten's approach to this sequence is really interesting in the way that he's like
so interesting. It's the fact that he's like, he hasn't gone there to be like, fuck you, I'm going to fuck you up now because of what you've done. He's gone like, I can still help you. Like we can still salvage something of this, and we can still make something good come from all this mess. The fact that like this is the Daleks, like the race that has caused him the most amount of pain he's ever gone through. He's lost so much because of the Daleks. And after all that, he's still like, let me help you. This is one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, this is Doctor Who. This is the Doctor for me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And it's like, it'd be so easy for him to, and so easy for, I think, a lesser writer to just be like, he's angry because Ten gets cross, and David Tennant's a good actor when he's cross.
Yeah.
And like, maybe in another world that moment would have been cool, but it's so much more interesting when he extends the hand, and it's not like in violence. It's in like, it's almost pity.
Yeah.
It's like you're so wrong. Everyone's been saying how wrong you are. You're defeated. We've got the best of you. You can look around you can see how wrong you are. But the Dalek is just like it's just unwilling. Like it's just like, no, there's not a chance that believes I'm wrong, but I know when I'm beat, so it's time to emergency plot convenience.
Emergency
shift. Yeah.
See, with emergency temporal shift, I get the sense that like they don't know where they're going with that.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Yeah, it's just fucking random. It's just like, get me out of here, throw me somewhere in time and space. We'll deal with the consequences later. But like,
it's just it's got to be better than this.
Yeah, just get me the fuck out of here.
I mean, it's definitely also a convenient. I mean, it's got them out of season 2 and season 1, and season 2 and season 3 now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Does it happen again? Do we get this temporary shift again?
No, it's because. Well, no, it doesn't happen again. I feel like it's more of a convenience in season 2 because like all the Daleks are being sucked up. Apart from the Koloscara for some reason, and they've got the ability to.
They're heavier. They're way.
They're just hovering about, and they're like, "Oh no, emergency temporal shift." Okay.
Yeah, we better gather the boys.
Yeah. You only actually saw Sek do the shift though, which is interesting. Yeah.
I think he's connected to his boys.
Yeah, he is, but like, I don't know. No, he could.
Do you reckon when Dalek Khan temporal shifted, he accidentally just brought the lifeless corpses of like all of the other Skaro? Like, so there's just a flailing half-human Dalek, and then like 2 broken in half bins.
It's possible
with him.
It's possible.
And he was like, Davros can clean these up in season 4.
Actually, that's the point. Do you reckon the next day, like the fucking janitor of that theater just walks in and is like, "What the fuck?" He's just 2 half-destroyed Daleks, and then just the fucking corpse of Dalek Sek on the floor next to them.
Maybe also the corpse of like 30 other
Oh
blokes
yeah,
as
the
well.
humans as well. What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I like. That's the one thing I always think about with Doctor Who episodes, because like the Doctor and Martha will go swanning off in the TARDIS, and like, is Laszlo implicated for all of this? Like,
Yeah.
Tallulah's fingerprints are probably around.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
What's the
fuck?
cleanup look like? I guess that's like Unit and Torchwood in the background if they even exist at that point and stuff.
Yeah,
But like,
that must be so annoying. Like, there's one Torchwood employee that gets the call and it's like, Manhattan. Oh my god.
that'd be great. Go.
By tomorrow morning?
Yeah. Well, that's not possible. Not in the 30.
Yeah.
It'll take you at least a week.
Yeah. It gets there and he's like, there's so much goo.
No, it was too
Why do I always get these ones?
goo. All right, that's it.
There's someone for everyone, Nathan.
Oh, well, I guess that's not it. Sorry.
All I have for this is there's someone for everyone. The Doctor says maybe, and then in brackets I put sad this.
Sad because Rose is not here. Grow up. Anyway.
Yeah. You gave Martha a big cuddle in this one.
Yeah. He gave her a hug and then he got immediately angry for giving her a hug. Do you remember?
The lift shut, Martha.
Yeah.
This is why you don't hug people.
Oh, fuck you. You're not Rose. Anyway. All right. You know what it's time for?
Weirdo of the Week! Weirdo.
This is everyone's favourite segment of the show where we get to take a chance to look back and reflect on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little characters who come across our screens each and every week whilst we're watching Doctor Who. Do I need to go first?
No, I can go.
Okay. Lawrence, who is your weirdo for this week?
My weirdo it's a bit of an unusual one this week because we don't actually see this moment on screen. We're told about it.
Okay.
So I have to. My weirdo is it could be some sort of. It's either one of the Daleks, all four of the Daleks, or perhaps some sort of pig slave chief that we don't see.
Okay.
Right, and this is taken purely from Laszlo, telling us in the preparation of the top of the Empire State Building standoff, the lift is coming up, the gang are preparing themselves for a bit of a scrap, and Laszlo says that they're no match for the pig slaves and the women need to get back. Firstly, very, very, how chivalrous of you, Laszlo. But anyway, Laszlo says the women need to get back because the pig slaves are trained to slit throats with their bare teeth.
Yes. Okay.
By who? Is my question and my weirdo, because if it was the Daleks, then they're my weirdo, because the Daleks don't even have teeth. So who is teaching this lesson?
Can I give you a solution to this?
Yes.
Okay. See, what I would imagine is it's kind of like a training scenario in the same way you get trained in the Matrix, and it's just it's just implemented into your brain, basically.
Oh, it's like transmatted in.
Yeah, like I want to know Kung Fu. Oh, I know Kung Fu now.
Give him the blue test tube. That one's got the slit throat juice.
Yeah. I want to teach this pig how to slit a throat. All right.
If it was going to be
vague science.
Yeah, if it was going to be explained in the episode, that is 100% the way it would have been done.
Yeah, definitely. It's just something that's injected to them during the experiments or whatever.
Not a pig slave chief. The leader. Oh no, it's the boss one. He's allowed to keep his hair as well, like Laszlo.
Yeah.
Nathan, who is your widow?
My weirdo is the Dalek. Well, I don't know which Daleks, but probably all of them actually. Dalek, Dalek Khan, Dalek Thane, Dalek Just. For being a little bit too kinky, if you ask me.
I was scared this would be it.
Not only do they lock Dalek Sec up when they take over, but then they decide for their grand reveal at the theatre. First of all, they get quite theatrical, which I do enjoy. Yeah. They decide to drop some what's that called?
Pizzazz?
Pyrotechnics.
Oh, yeah.
And just burst up through the stage. So very, very theatrical. I don't know quite how that works, but still,
One of the
I
pig
enjoy
slaves
it.
is just off with a smoke bomb or something.
Yeah, one of them's there with a fog
There's a
machine.
pig slave in a black t-shirt wearing his stage blacks. And is like got
And
the
he's got a
headset on.
He's got a fog machine and he's just waving it about.
One of them's reading lighting cues to them.
All right, we're clear on two. Clear on two. Okay.
Okay, and go with the curtain. Go with the curtain.
Oh, great.
Let's get that curtain up, guys.
Oh, good stuff. No, but they emerge from the smoke with Dalek on all fours, just crawling while he's chained up. He's got a collar on and he's chained up to both Daleks,
Yeah.
like with a leash sort of thing. And it's just, look, it reminds me of certain imagery. Is all I'll say, Lauren.
That's fair.
Okay.
Because the more you consider it, like, it's like it could have been just one of them. It could have been none of them.
Yeah.
Or they could have left him in the basement.
Yeah.
I guess it was more just like a look what we've done. Look how much we've defied you.
This was his slave Leia moment.
Yeah.
Like, they could have put him in that bikini.
Instead, it's just a dusty three-piece
Yeah.
with
there
his
we
with
go.
his like bowling shoes. I noticed as well.
I didn't like the shoes. They ruined the look for
They
me.
really did.
He had this nice, like, so it was a bit like gooey or whatever, but like he had for the most part this nice like black suit on, and then just these weird like spat shoes with like white markings on them or whatever.
Can you imagine if like his plan succeeded and like centuries from now he's like a bit old, right? He's no longer in his prime. He looks back on a civilization of a new species, proud of
Yeah.
his work, and he's just in like a hoodie and some Reeboks or something.
Yeah, that would definitely be an interesting visual.
I would like that.
But there we go. The Daleks are just a little bit kinky. Who knew?
Who knew? I probably knew.
Okay.
I don't know how.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff. Good episode all round. I think the second part really saved it for me.
Yeah. I think the second part makes the whole story what it is. Basically, it definitely.
Who would have
elevates
thought
it up.
the ending of the story could be
Yeah.
crucial?
Who knew? Yeah, but no, it's good. It's definitely one to remember, I think.
Yeah.
And it even goes to show you got Andrew Garfield in both episodes, and it's like the least interesting part of the episode.
He's just
so-
there, like even the sequences he's in, like Tallulah and
Yeah.
Martha are the interesting ones.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not even interesting in the parts where he's interesting in it.
No, he's just he does do a good accent though. I'll give him that.
It was better in this two-parter, which I don't quite understand. Like in this part of the two-parter, like that scene where they go to him and like they're like, he's like upset Solomon's just been killed, and they're like, "How do we get
Yeah.
to the Empire State Building?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm just sad. I
You
just
can't
lost
do it,
my
you can't.
friend."
You can't do it. Okay.
And Mr. Diagras comes here, we get some work.
Stop doing it.
Oh man,
Why'd you give him this really high pitched voice?
it's the voice he has.
He's listen,
man,
he's
I
not
have
going.
to hitch up
Oh
my
man,
coat."
I'm really sad. Oh no.
Oh, Mr. Diagras, please can
Stop
I have
this.
$1?
Stop this. All right, that's it. Lawrence, boot this bitch home.
Boot this bitch home.
Boot this bitch home. This big old bitch.
Oh gosh.
Boot it home.
Okay, I will. Yeah, this has been Still Got Legs. Okay, yeah, this has been Still Got Legs. If you've enjoyed this, new episodes of this show come out every single Monday at 10 a.m. Also, if you've enjoyed it, you can give it a little review. That would be much appreciated. Give it a little 5 stars on your podcast platform of choice. Share it with your friends. Share it with your Whovian people out there. They'll probably appreciate it and say thanks for suggesting such a fantastic podcast to me. And you can say thank you, safe in the knowledge that you have spent your time wisely and informed a friend who trusts your opinion even more so now after this fantastic recommendation. None of that was me stalling and trying to remember what I typically
I was
say.
gonna say, like, what are you doing, man? Wrap it up.
Oh, that's right. You can give us a little follow if you like. We're on Twitter. We are at Still Got Legs Pod on Twitter, and we also have an email. Nathan, what's that email again?
Still got legs podcast
Hell yeah.
at gmail.com. Give us a message, let us know some of your thoughts. Didn't get any this week. So,
Did we not get any this week?
I tweeted it out, didn't get any.
Well, fine.
So, yeah, fucking I won't bother next time.
That's it. You've had your fucking lot. Well, you liked having your name read out. Yeah, well, never again.
Never again. That's it.
You've made your bed now. Lie in it. You swine. That being said, don't forget to give us 5 stars.
Yeah, please give us 5 stars and follow us on Twitter and Instagram, threads, and all the other stuff.
All the other stuff where you find us. But we also have another podcast, don't we, Nathan?
We do. It's called Another Happy Pod. It comes out every Friday at 10 a.m. and that's our pop culture podcast where we talk about all things going on in that realm: movies, TV shows, video games. This week we are discussing one of those, Jedi Survivor. So that'll be coming out this coming Friday. And most recent episode last Friday was How to Train Your Dragon. So fun little things to listen to, if indeed that is your vibe. If not, don't worry about it. I probably came in a bit too soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you keeping this in?
Yeah.
I was thinking, normally I get a chance to say goodbye, but I guess we're streamlining it this week.
Yeah, I cut that out. I'll figure that out, but like, anything else to say?
No, bye.
Nothing else?
I don't think so. We did the outro.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye.